Aria Ali from Guyana. Y'all give it up for Aria Ali.
I think we need our Gen Zs up here. In 2020, a young indigenous girl in a remote village in Guyana committed suicide after she experienced, for her first time, what her menstruation is. How tragic. In some parts of the country, and for a number of reasons, girls still do not know what is menstruation, and others are forced to resort to unhygienic practices, which include the use of old cloth, leaves, and even sponges. And that's because they just could not afford or have access to sanitary products. This often forces them to miss school, resulting in learning loss, and in some cases, complete withdrawal from schools. PM of the Belize, dignitaries, special invitees, guests, good afternoon. It is my profound honor to present to you today one of the most ambitious projects we have embarked on in Guyana, and that is to address in a comprehensive way the issue of period poverty. The Menstrual Hygiene Initiative was therefore launched by the Office of the First Lady in 2021 with the aim of ending period poverty in Guyana and improving the health and well-being of women and girls. An immediate assessment was done by the Ministry of Education to determine the impact of period poverty on the health and education of girls, particularly those who reside in our hinterland communities. Some of the findings of that assessment were 84% of schoolgirls miss between 1 to 6 days each month because of their menstruation. 50% of schoolgirls need assistance in procuring sanitary pads, and 32% of schoolgirls said they just could not afford sanitary products. The aim of the Menstrual Hygiene Initiative is to therefore address the issue of period poverty among women and girls in Guyana, thereby enhancing the attainment of Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is to achieve gender equality and empower women and girls. The first objective is to empower women and girls with sufficient information regarding menstruation and managing menstrual hygiene. Our second objective is to equip all school-aged girls and eventually all women with sanitary products for proper menstrual hygiene practices. And lastly, to address shaming and dispel myths associated with menstruation by raising public awareness and including our men and boys in the conversation. And some of the strategies we deployed are: 1. We've launched a public awareness and education campaign about menstrual hygiene and period poverty through the media. Secondly, raise funds through charitable activities for the free distribution of sanitary pads. Thirdly, we have conducted educational campaigns in schools and villages with the aid of educational brochures and flyers. And finally, we have partnered with local government agencies, NGOs, international organizations, such as the UN office in Guyana, also corporate sponsors, to expand the coverage and raise awareness. Let's talk about the results. In 2022, we successfully lobbied the government of Guyana to provide an annual subvention of 50 million Guyana dollars through the national budget for the provision of sanitary pads to our schoolgirls. This is in addition to donations from local and international partners such as the United Nations Population Fund. So let's put that into perspective. Since 2022, we have distributed almost 12 million sanitary pads to women and girls across Guyana. Since the launch of this project, more than 32,000 schoolgirls, which is 100% of our high school girls, have been receiving a full year's supply of sanitary pads at no cost to them. And we're currently working on expanding this coverage to all our Guyanese women. Since the introduction of the Menstrual Hygiene Initiative, attendance reports from schools across a number of administrative districts indicate that there is a higher attendance rate of girls, particularly in the hinterland regions. We are currently awaiting the data from an impact assessment being conducted by the Ministry of Education, which will indicate the extent to which this has improved the academic performances of our girls. Providing safe, clean, and high-quality menstrual products has allowed us to reduce the risk of infections among girls, which is usually caused by using unhygienic materials, like I once said, leaves, old rags, and even sponges. While menstruation remains a taboo subject in many parts of Guyana and around the world, we have made significant strides in normalizing conversations around women's health. This concludes getting prominent men in society, including my husband, the President, his ministers of government, diplomats, and many others to speak about women's health and actively participate in the distribution of these sanitary products. So what are our next steps? We're currently in discussions with a local company to procure and install sanitary pad dispensers in all schools and public offices. In the near future, we hope to have corporate Guyana adopt the same approach in their offices. We have also submitted a request to the government of Guyana for an increase in the annual subvention, which will allow us to expand coverage and begin supplying sanitary products to women, beginning with those in vulnerable situations. We have also commenced discussions with the country's tax regulatory authority, which is the Guyana Revenue Authority, and the government on having taxes removed or at least reduced on sanitary products to make them more affordable. Of course, with everything, there are challenges. Despite ongoing efforts, menstruation, which is a natural and normal biological process and a sign of good health, continues to be shrouded in taboos, myths, and misconceptions, many of which are underpinned by cultural norms and traditions. For example, in many homes, women are seen as unclean when they are on their periods and are prohibited from speaking about it openly with their fathers and brothers. Funding has been another major challenge which we continue to grapple with. Because of the high costs associated with supplying menstrual products, our approach has been to implement this project in phases, beginning with the provision of pads to schoolgirls and eventually to provide to all women in Guyana. Every woman or girl experiencing their period has a story to tell. We all do. So I'd like to request of you today, as a woman, a mother, a wife, a daughter, and a sister, that we continue this fight for every victim of period poverty and collectively work to end the stigma associated with menstruation. We've got this. Period.
That was a very good presentation, Her Excellency Ali. And I saw some synergy between you and the First Lady of Belize, because I heard her also say that they're giving out sanitary napkins. So look how this is becoming a big issue. We do it here as well in the United States. Period poverty is